Casey's biggest hits.
2 years ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was Life is a Highway, a song inspired by a journey to Africa to help feed the starving population. I'll have details and that big hit after this.
Casey's Top 40.
On Casey's Top 40, I'm Casey Kasem. And our fourth debut is a brand new hit called Life is a Highway. It's a song title that reminds us of the most famous shaggy dog story of all time. As you may know, a shaggy dog story is one that's very long and winds up with a pretty silly punchline. The fun isn't in the end, but in the telling. And that's just how the most famous of them all goes. It's about a man who decides to go searching for the meaning of life. He reads thousands of books on the subject, goes to dozens of seminars, listens to hundreds of tapes, but none gives him the answer that he seeks. He tries every religion, but still he can't find the meaning of life. Then he hears of a great guru who lives in a cave high in the Himalaya mountains. The only way to get to him is to go on a most perilous journey. He knows he'll face danger, but he has to find the answer, and so off he goes. For 3 years, he searches for the guru, spending every cent he has, going from village to village, forging raging rivers and climbing tall peaks. Finally, exhausted, weather-beaten, and just about ready to give up, he finds the hermit, high atop a lonely, mysterious mountain in a cave. It's dark in there, but he goes in, and there sits an old man bent with age and burnt by the sun, poking ashes in a fire. The seeker says to the guru, "Great Guru, I've come far to learn the meaning of life from you. Traveled for years, thousands of miles. Please, tell me, what is the meaning of life?" Well, the old man looks up at him, smiles a very wise smile, and says, "Life is a fountain." Well, the seeker stares at him in amazement. For a while he can't find his tongue, and then, realizing that that's all there is, he says, "I've given up everything. I've traveled halfway around the world. I've come thousands of miles, and all you can tell me is that life is a fountain?" At which point the ancient guru spreads his arms, shrugs his shoulders, and says, "So, life isn't a fountain?" That's what you call a shaggy dog story. Now, here's the song that inspired that shaggy tale. A song that could provide an alternate answer to the meaning of life. Checking in at number 37 on Casey's Top 40, here's singer Tom Cochrane with Life is a Highway.
I'm Shadoe Stevens. There's hope, and then there's tragedy. Not exactly two things you think of together, but they fuse in the top 40 hit for Canadian singer and songwriter Tom Cochrane. You'd imagine that Tom wrote his song Life is a Highway traveling through North America, but actually he wrote it after visiting a place where there aren't highways. Well, there are not many highways anyway. In 1990, Tom took a trip through Africa with the World Vision Organization. That's a group out to stop world hunger, and the experience was eye-opening and shocking to Tom. People living in wretchedness and filth and poverty, worse than anything he'd ever seen or could imagine. Tom was inspired to write, but not the way you might imagine. He says, "Sure, I saw some pretty horrendous and heavy things. I could have called the song We Are the World Part 2, but I saw something in those natives. I saw them as real people, not as one-dimensional impressions that we have of them. They laugh, they joke. So I came away from that trip finding out that people can find joy in the most simple things in life. I found out that no matter how bad the situation, there really are joys and pleasures to be found in this life. I just wanted to write a song that would make people feel good."
American Top 40.
The singer at number 14 on AT40 sings Life is a Highway, and in just a few weeks he's hitting the highway on tour as the opening act for Richard Marx.
Count it down.
4, 3, 2, 1.
You've heard it done to death. If first you don't succeed, try again. But this singer and songwriter from Canada is proof. He first hit Billboard's Hot 100 way back in 1980 with a group called Red Rider. But now 12 years later, he's finally hit the top 40 solo. We get a lot of letters asking about this new guy, Tom Cochrane. But new, he's not. You think he's another overnight success? Life is a Highway is from the 10th album of his career, the 10th. But it is his first top 40 hit. This week it slips from 7 to number 9 on AT40.
Casey's biggest hits.
A year ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was by Tom Cochrane, a song that made him a hero among the highway patrolmen of America. And it's something that Tom found out the hard way. You see, he was traveling across the American Southwest in a touring bus with his band. All of a sudden, the driver of the bus heard a siren and saw a flashing red light behind him. He'd been going a bit too fast, and the local constabulary had nailed him. The patrolman checked the driver's papers. Then he asked him who the people on the bus might happen to be. The driver told the officer they were a band led by a fellow named Tom Cochrane. The policeman said, "The Tom Cochrane who sings the song about the highway?" The driver said, "Of course." The patrolman lit up. He told the band that song was the anthem of the younger highway patrol guys. And instead of giving the driver a ticket, he gave him a warning and asked for an autographed copy of Tom's album.
Casey's biggest hits.
2 years ago this week, one of the biggest hits in the USA was a song inspired by a journey to Africa to help feed the starving population. It was a journey that Canadian singer and songwriter Tom Cochrane took through a relief organization called World Vision. He encountered poverty and starvation on his trip like he had never imagined possible. But Tom also says he found hope and a belief that things could get better. And the more he thought about his experience, the more he wanted to put that optimism into a song to share with others. A song that turned into one of the biggest hits in the USA 2 years ago this week. Here's Tom Cochrane with Life is a Highway.
Casey counts them down.